course, our PBS affiliate at the Big Green Machine at Michigan State University, carrying us on Sundays at 5 is WKAR AM 870. Many, many, many other stations that carry our content all over the state on the Michigan Talk Network. And I want to thank Steve and Ivy Gruber for having the faith in us years ago to put us on the syndication. And away we go with all of that. Again, thank you, Craig Stiles, for sponsoring segment 2 of our show. We love him. We trust him, and you will as well. All right, back to my friend today. My guest is Dr. Dave Lorenz. I like calling him the doctor because like Dr. J, I mean, Dr. J wasn't a doctor, of course, but Dr. Lorenz, he's got a staff and he's got a crew and he's got a team, and he just managed. He's just a good manager, and they're being rewarded with good budgets, and they're out there to help us so that we can help our state. And that's why I love Dave so much. 25th visit to our radio program. Dave, we mentioned Rochelle before in the previous segment, and we ran out of time a little bit. Can you follow up with some of the things, and kudos to her for what she does, because she's helped us so much.
Rochelle Kozlovka is my executive secretary. And, it's interesting. You mentioned I was at Meyer, and at Meyer, the culture was your administrative assistant was at a higher level than your secretary when you were in a management role. So I used to always call her my admin. And I remember one time she said, I'm your executive secretary. And I said, well, but I kind of feel like you also do administrative, work. She says, well, executive secretary is higher level here. I had no idea, so it's really interesting. When I became vice president almost 9 years ago, she said, I met her. Of course, I had known her before, but we talked about her becoming my executive secretary. And I said, Rochelle, I'm doing fine with my former secretary. If you want to stay doing what you're doing, that's up to you. She says, no, I'm doing this. I'm here to save your life. And I laughed, and she didn't crack a smile at all. And I thought, well, that's a little weird. So then we talked more, and then she said, listen, I know the schedule you're keeping right now. I know what we can do together. And I'm going to keep you on schedule, make sure you're not double booking. I used to double and triple book all the time by accident, so she's kept me alive, and she's kept me going, and she's made me so much more productive. What a great example of a partnership, because our little team, I told you we have a little team. So there's Rochelle and myself. There's Kelly Wilgamot, who handles our marketing. There's Nicole Lee, who does a whole bunch of stuff, but she's a writer for us. There's Amanda Munson, who does a million things, including producing our radio show. There's Robin Peebles, who does our e-newsletters and a bunch of other things as well. There's Ken Yarsevich and Bonnie Fink, who handle some partnership stuff. There's Maria Mendez, who handles all of our finance. And I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. But then we also have the rest of these MADC folks, Drew Mason and Kyle Gilmore, who do these wonderful videos that you see out there from Pure Michigan. Nick Nurbin, who helps with social media, digital media, and some of that video work. It just goes on and on and on. And I don't mean to forget anybody, because I haven't forgotten about them. They do so much, and we are a team. And I'll have to tell you, Tom, when I came here, coming from a team culture into government work, the first couple of weeks here, I thought, man, we're never going to bring this team together. They're a bunch of bureaucrats, civil servants, and I believed the old, stereotypes about civil servants. And then over time, not only did we become a team, but they proved to me that those stereotypes are so out of date. Maybe they never were accurate, but these are hard workers who care about what they do. They serve the public, and I'm really proud to work with them.
Well, what you're talking about are impressions and perceptions, and I had the same issue at the university when I was at Michigan State University, and you're very spot on with all of that. And I want to give a shout out back to Rochelle, because she is, excuse me, she's exactly the same situation as Sandy. When Sandy took over all of the schedule, when we first started this thing 12 years ago with this radio program, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I mean, I was talking and having fun and finding stuff. And then you came along really early on. And so it's through all of the support that we get that we just, it's so invaluable. So
it's true.
staff and anybody that we forgot. We love you all and we appreciate you all because we love our state of Michigan and the Midwest and our country, but especially the state of Michigan. And that's why Dave's here. All right. So let's talk about impressions, perceptions, keeping it fresh, and hidden gems of Michigan. Set this up. We're going to go to break here in just a minute.
Yep.
But go ahead and set this up for the rest of the show, my friend.
I will. So as we always say, your trip begins at michigan.org. And so I know a whole bunch of really cool places around the state because I get around so much. I'm out there all the time. But what I always say is literally, if you're interested in a certain thing, go search it on michigan.org. So I put hidden gems. So here's what came up. I'll just give you the titles. 10 amazing hidden gems in Michigan worth the trek. 16 unique places and unusual things to do in Michigan. Hidden gems in the Central UP, a pure Michigan guide. Get back to nature in Escoda. Explore Houghton. It just goes on and on and on and on. So we'll go through some of these things in a little bit, all available to you on michigan.org.